Okay then guys, welcome to the latest preview of Retro Gamer Magazine. I'm Darran Jones.
I'm Jonathan Wells.
I'm Drew Sleep.
And here we have, in shops on the 31st of December, it's the latest issue of Retro Gamer. And special issue, it's our 150th issue. And it's the 10th year that we've been making the mag. So that's rather cool. So to celebrate that, well, do you want to quickly go through the cover, Johnny? Saying it's amazing and you made it.
And you drew all of it.
So we had a couple of ideas. We did manage to get in all, as people will find out later in the issue actually. One of the options we tried was getting as many of the games possible that featured in our 150 greatest list, and actually created the 150 out of the games cartridges and boxes. But then another option that actually John Gordon on Games TM had was about creating an old satchel bag, and how I remember how I used to illustrate on it, like do some sketches and doodles and scribble in the letters and everything. And so we thought we'd go with something like that. And,
because we moved away from it initially simply because we've done something very similar for an annual about 8-9 years ago. But we all got together again, didn't we? And there was a big these are the ideas. And John's bag idea won out. So then it was just a case of tweaking it, wasn't it? And just adding stuff to it.
Yeah, so it's all from scratch again. So it's a whole new base, and all the illustrations were hand drawn.
I just want to point out that me, Darren, and Nick all did draw something, but obviously we weren't good enough to make the magazine.
Yeah, we drew some amazing stuff, and it all got cut.
Johnny was like, "Oh, that's really good, but I'm just going to draw it myself."
And, we just found them, didn't we? Like hunched over and just we were upset.
Broke my heart, man.
In fairness, it is Darren's TM&E that made the cut. So.
Oh, and also as well, a lot of actually, while we talk about this, there's already a lot of speculation online about what the T, the M, and the E represent. What they represent is that when I was tracing over them, they were the easiest ones that I could see. So there's no hidden message. It doesn't mean anything. It's just 3 letters. But anyway, let's shall we move into the mag?
We'll say all everything on the cover is illustrations of stuff based within the feature or other elements like Yu Suzuki or Resi 4, Jet Set Williams stuff. So yeah, it was fun. It was quite nice to be able to get out the pen again.
And it's an interesting issue as well, because theoretically the entire issue is devoted to your list. I mean, this isn't our list. We don't agree with some of the choices in there. However, what's interesting is that, well, it's not our list, is it?
No, it's your list, guys.
Strider would be number 1 if it was my list. But what is interesting is we looked at the original poll, which was done back in issues 8 and 9 when it was under the Life Publishing, and 61 of the games from their top 100 were originally in there. So it just highlights that good games are good games are good games. Obviously the positions have changed, and obviously we're not going to tell you what the top 30 is, but we'll certainly give you a little indication of the sort of things that we have done with it. And so we'll show you the intro. And again, what we've done is there's a lot of content. The idea we looked at it was that initially you would just flick through the mag, won't you? Because let's face it, when you've got a list, the first thing you want to do is go through it and make sure that it's right, i.e. does it agree with your choices, which you all gave us earlier on at the beginning of the year. So you go through the list, you'll either agree or disagree with where everything is, and then you'll start hopefully going back to it and going, oh, actually, this is cool, this is a making of this game, and oh, you've got this developer, and oh, you're covering this. So I think all in there's 50 interviewees, which I don't know of any other feature of this size which has managed to do that. So it was logistically a nightmare, wasn't it?
Design-wise, logistically, fitting all the amazing words in, no doubt, and stuff like that. But it's all come together to make something that's, I think, is truly fantastic. We've even peppered across some good little photography in there as well.
Yeah. There's a few pictures of us, having a bit of fun, playing a bit of rock band.
Yeah. Nick's an amazing drummer, by the way. Look at that posture, crumbs.
And but yeah, I mean, there's just a huge amount of content.
Yeah, it's just we tried to approach it in a different way to our normal list features, and we tried to take the information gained from your votes and then look deeper into each one's game and just try to put them into the pages.
And again, because we've not gone too much on the games themselves, because let's face it, we all know what these games are because they're the greatest games of all time. But so where we could, we've managed to get we got an interview with one of the co-founders of BioWare about making Knights of the Old Republic. You can also say as well we've interviewed one of the current experts like Pac-Man. So we've just gone out of our way to ensure that there's lots of cool, interesting stuff for you to read. And that's where we're going to leave it. So Manic Mine is at number 30, which is quite a drop. I think initially it was number 3 back in 2004.
Yeah, it says right there,
Probably worth mentioning as well that some of the games actually have climbed up as well. It's not all all the games have actually dropped. It's actually some. Yeah,
there's a couple
jumped up the list as well. So
you've got a few contemporary games as well, haven't you? So things like The Last of Us, which I'm really pleased to see is in there. You've got what were some of the ones that you liked, Drew?
Mass Effect 2 is in there, which I thought was I was happy to see that in there.
Skyrim did well as well, didn't it?
Quite a few.
I found surprising.
Games as well. But it's the greatest games ever. It's not the greatest games in the last, ignoring the last 10 years. It's ever. So a lot of good games came out in the last 10 years. So
and we just felt that if you were in a situation where you start saying, well, you can include these systems and you can't include that. And again, going back to the previous list, which was done in 2004, they had contemporary games in there. So the ratio of games that were new then compared to now is pretty much the same. So it's hopefully you guys are going to love it. We had a lot of fun putting it together. It wasn't easy, but it was a lot of fun, and hopefully you're going to enjoy it.
To the checklist.
Oh yeah, the other thing as well that we've added at the end is a checklist. So once you've looked through the list, you can then start ticking off the games that you've played. We've got other things as well, so you can see how the distribution of games is now compared to what it was in 2004, who the most popular publishers are, where the votes came from and that. And you had a lot of fun putting it together, didn't you, Johnny? Okay then, so moving on with the rest of the feature. Again, what we've tried to do is it's all stuff which is tied into the list in some way, and it's all big stuff. So we've got a making of the Commodore 64 with 2 of the guys who are involved in it. So I felt that was quite a cool coup. And you've got lovely stuff like this, like the actual inside of it. So that was that's Nick's, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Nick's machine. Yeah,
and you guys
took it down to the studio and got him to take it apart.
Was it super dusty?
Yeah, a little bit. I had to give it a good clean, but it turned out alright in the end.
Another thing we've got is the making of Jet Set Willy. So it may surprise you, considering all the Manic Miner love we've been accused of in the past. But we've never done anything on Jet Set Willy in terms of how the actual game was made. So there's a cool interview with Matt Smith. And again, that's a game which is in the top 150 somewhere. Continuing with that theme, we've got an interview with Alexey Pajitnov, who obviously is the creator of Tetris. And it's him basically talking about how the game's become so popular, how pleased he is about where it's being placed in the voting and all the rest.
It's wide appeal as well and things like that.
Yeah. And there's that lovely bit, isn't it, where he's talking about how it was designed on the side of a building or something.
Oh yeah, it's like his dream to see that happen. But
moving on, history of Nintendo. There's more Nintendo games than any other publisher in the list. Something about 19 something roughly.
An absurd amount.
So we wanted to basically cover the company, and it looks at the highs and lows, starting off before it basically went into video games, the arcades, the golden years, the slump, the resurrection with the Wii, and then where it is at the moment, which isn't brilliant compared to say where it was 20 years ago.
Who knows what Nintendo's going to do next?
Well, that's the thing, though, isn't it? You can't really bet against them.
Another curveball, no doubt.
Moving on with the coverage, we've got Civilization. Now, amazingly, there's 3 Civilization games in the top 150. I won't say where they are, but again, it's interesting that you've got this one strategy game, and it's pretty much the only strategy game in there.
It's just so addictive, though. Like each one, it carries on that one more turn, that whole mentality of that type of game. I'm not surprised that Civilization made it in there, but all 3 of them, flipping egg.
Is there something you've ever played, Johnny? I don't have the patience for them. I'm too I just want to destroy things all the time.
No, I was more of an Age of Empires
Army guy.
So, you are the army guy. So.
Moving off our recent Space Harrier interview, we've got a new piece on Yu Suzuki where he talks about his entire career.
And
you like this as well, didn't you? Because you got some cool.
I actually got
cool
some decent photography. Yeah, it's always handy when some decent photography comes through. So just adds that little bit more to the feature, I think. So. And
then finally, our last big feature is Resident Evil 4, which is.
I'm really happy this got in actually.
Yeah, I mean it's. I personally think it's one of the greatest games of all time. I can remember when I was working on Games TM and it was first previewed, and I actually picked up the GameCube it was running on and looked underneath it because I genuinely didn't believe that something that good could be running on the GameCube. So it's good. It's and special thanks needs to go out to Laura Skelly from Capcom because she really helped us out with that. And then otherwise, just a small review section due to obviously the size of the rest of the article. No homebrew this month, but it will be coming back redesigned next issue.
Yep.
And a quick look at next issue. So we've got the legacy of Street Fighter 2, because it will be celebrating its 25th anniversary.
Got a lot of Street Fighter love in the office at the moment, haven't we?
Yeah. The greatest Neo Geo games of all time. Micro Machines 2. Scooby-Doo, which looks at how it was originally going to be like this big epic Dragon's Lair type game. And then it turned into something which wasn't quite as... It was still fun, but it wasn't anywhere near that scale. And we're looking at the history of the Macintosh computer. And there's obviously other things as well, which we won't tell you about now. And then what we'll do is we'll finish up with... this is how the magazine's made. So pretty much every issue, people are always asking for... Oh, you should do like a making of the mag. And it feels a bit indulgent, but... Because it's like the 150th issue, we thought,
it's our
why
birthday.
not?
We could be.
Yeah, it's our birthday.
Why not?
So that gives you a little insight into how we make the mag each month, and that's it really, guys. So we hope you enjoy the issue, and we'll be back with another one very soon. So I'm Darran Jones.
Jonathan Wells.
I'm Drew Sleep.
And we'll see you soon, guys. Take care.